Hello and welcome to the video. Hope you're having a great day, and today I decided I wanted to do a little challenge. We are going to be drawing a randomly generated creature, and this is how I'm going to do it. So if you can see on the right side here, I have listed out a bunch of different body parts, and I am going to assign a randomly generated animal for each of these parts. And let's see, most of these are pretty self-explanatory. By front appendages and back appendages, I just mean the front and back. Probably legs, but for the front we could get arms, we could get wings, we could get flippers for either front or back. We'll see what we get. Skin type could be skin, scales, fur, feathers, what have you. And for the wildcard slot here, what I'm going to do is for whatever animal that gets assigned this slot, I am allowed to choose whatever feature from that animal to add to our creature, as long as it does not overwrite any of the previous body parts that we've assigned. And that feature could be something physical, like a pattern on their fur, or it could be something a little bit more like maybe their size, maybe they're big, maybe they're small, their temperament, what they like to eat, what have you. So let's get to it. So on the left here, I found this website, Random Lists, and they have a random animals generator right here that we're going to click on. And ignore these animals, this is not our poll. We're gonna scroll down and we have 11 spots to fill. So let's do 11, no duplicates, and let's do our poll. All right, let's see, okay. And just 1 through 11, we're gonna assign them through here. So for the head shape, we have crocodile. If I can spell freaking crocodile right. Tiger eyes. Alligator ears? Alright, well, no ears then, I guess. Alright. A lynx nose. The neck of a crab. No neck either. Alright, I guess. Body shape of, what is that? Chamois? Chamois? I don't even know what that is. Looks like a deer. Front appendages of a weasel. Oh boy, the back appendages of a hare. I love it. Tail of a mare. That's a horse. Tail of a horse. Skin type of a rabbit. Alright, wild card is a donkey. What do I want? Let me think. I could take their temperament. Oh, I could take their ears. Oh, I could. No. I wish I could take their ears. I could overwrite alligator ears, but I can't do that. I could take their hooves. Ooh, what I could take is I could take their mane. I love me a good mane. What kind of body part do we have again? Oh, a camoid. That'd be kind of cool. All right, let's take their mane. Okay, this is it. This is going to be our creature. Let us get to it. Okay, so this is now a number of days since I recorded that intro, and I have a correction to make. I looked it up, and the name of the animal is not chamois, it is chamois. I had a feeling I was pronouncing that name wrong, so I looked it up, and yes, I was pronouncing it wrong. It is chamois. And I think I also said that they looked like a deer, but they seemed to actually be more related to goats than deer, although I didn't find a definite answer on that. I guess it doesn't completely matter. A body of a goat and a body of a deer are fairly similar looking, at least enough for this challenge, so I didn't feel the need to dive deeper into that. But okay, with that out of the way, let's get to this creature design. My approach of this challenge was first to create a creature that just consisted of the different animal parts slapped together, chimera style. And my goal there was to just feel out the animal, see what makes sense, and try to figure out how it might operate. And my intent for this whole challenge wasn't to create a completely believable animal, but something a little more cohesive, at least. And I have to admit that the neck of a crab really threw me for a loop here. You'll see what I did, and judge for yourself whether or not I cheated on that. Another decision I had to make was what scale this animal was at. With legs that came from rodents, but a body of a goat, something had to scale either up or down to get this to work. And I think what I ended up with was something about the size of a goat. I think chamois are bigger than your average farm goat, but it made sense to me to scale this animal down a bit if the rear legs of a hare was going to make any sense at all. One of the options I considered was making this creature look more kangaroo-like. After all, what are kangaroo legs but giant rabbit legs, right? And the front legs of a weasel fit that profile pretty well too. But I did pull away from that style eventually, mostly because of the crocodile head. For this creature to work, I felt like it needed to be lower to the ground and have more of a head-first forward style locomotion rather than the hopping around of a kangaroo, if that makes any sense. Okay, so of the sketches I made, I really liked the look of the mouth gaping open, plus the lunging forward pose. I think the essence of this creature really boiled down to giant rabbit with a crocodile head, and I wanted to capture that. So that being said, let's talk about that neck of a crab, because I really couldn't come up with a clever solution to that problem. Right off the bat, I figured crabs don't have necks, and they cannot turn their heads, so this creature would have the same problem. And at first, in my initial sketches, that was the extent to which I was going to take this idea. No neck, can't turn head. But then I decided I really wanted to work some more crabbiness into this design. And what did I come up with? A crab shell around the neck area. And that's it. I think it looks kind of cool and pushes this creature design into more of a WTF zone, but honestly I'm not really sure how clever it is. And I mentioned earlier that I thought it might be cheating because, like I said, crabs don't have necks. Not that my research could really tell me, at least. And now I can say that crab neck might be my weirdest Google search at this point. I didn't look into it too extensively, but from what I could tell, yeah, crabs don't have necks. And for this design, I feel like the not having a neck was close enough to the spirit of the randomized body part challenge that I felt like I would have been okay not having the crab shell, because the shell is not the neck, right? Because it has no neck. The shell is not the neck. And technically, this creature is supposed to have the skin of a rabbit, so throwing on a bit of crab shell felt a little bit outside the rules. But also, this is my challenge, and I could do whatever I want, so crab shell it is. As I was designing this creature, I did wonder if I got a little bit too granular with the randomized body parts. The different front and back legs were fun, and I thought would be good for generating a truly random creature. But having a different slot for the nose and eyes did feel a little specific. But I do think that the randomizer god smiled upon me, because not only did I get the nose and eyes of cats, but that plus the rabbit fur really gave this creature more of a mammalian feel, and ultimately helped make it more cohesive. Besides the crab neck shell, of course. And besides the crocodile mouth, of course, but I think I was able to get the crocodile head and mouth to work. I just went with the long, narrow snout, lots of sharp teeth look, which some mammals definitely do have. I actually looked at some pictures of Tasmanian tigers as inspiration. They seem to have pretty long and narrow snouts, and it seemed like they could open those suckers pretty wide, kind of like a crocodile. It's really a shame that we don't have more photographs of those guys. I mean, more of a shame that they went extinct, but at least we have some pictures of them. Anyway, my final comment on the disparate body parts was that getting ears of an alligator may also have been a randomizer god blessing, since it works pretty much perfectly with the structure of the crocodile head. And I also think that having prominent ears may have made this creature design just a little bit too busy. Notice I just didn't do anything for the ears. I know that, of course, yes, alligators do technically have ears, they can hear, but you can't see them beyond just a little bit of opening in their head. But I just didn't really find the space to add that in. I also kind of just forgot. Yeah. I think we're good to just say that the fur hides the ear openings. There. Speaking of the fur, at the beginning of this challenge, I wasn't really intending on taking the literal skin of the animal that got selected for that slot, meaning I didn't feel like I had to model the fur after an actual rabbit's fur. Just that this creature had fur. Maybe keep the length, but I didn't really care beyond that. But as I was looking for inspiration for what pattern to use, I ended up falling in love with the colorization of the eastern cottontail rabbit, and decided it was as good as anything, so that's what I went with. Okay, now for the world building / creature behavior stuff. I didn't want to get too deep into figuring out how this creature really worked and how it fit into its world, but this is what I've come up with so far. First, having the rear legs of a hare pretty much define how it moves. Like a hare, this creature can spring forward and run at high speeds, using its back legs to propel it. But having powerful jaws designed to clamp shut, rip, and tear, like the crocodile, this creature is an ambush predator. It lies in wait amongst tall grass, and once its prey is close enough, uses its strong back legs to spring forward, and its powerful jaws to clamp onto its prey, not letting go until its prey is dead. But we have a bit of a contradiction with this creature. While it has jaws designed to catch prey, it's also got the body of an herbivore, built to digest grass and plants, not meat. So if it doesn't eat meat, what's it hunting? And why does it need such powerful jaws and carnivore's teeth? The easy way out would just be wave my hand and just say, it's a carnivore, it eats meat. End of story, who cares? It's got the shape of a goat body, but nothing more. But I don't know, I really wanted to capture that essence of the disparate parts of the body and really work it into the creature design. And so after some thinking, considering, the clear and very obvious solution is, of course, that it hunts animals that are made of plants. What exactly does that look like? I don't really know. I didn't want to put too much brain power into building up this world, but what I do know is that, yeah, the animals that this creature hunts are plants. They're not just made of plants, they are plants. Plants that can walk and run and move about. And clearly, some of them can move quite quickly if this creature had to evolve into an ambush predator. And when I first came up with that idea, I thought that I was going to try and put one of those plant animals into this drawing, but like I already said, I didn't really want to put too much effort into this design. I didn't really sign up to design two creatures, let alone an entire ecosystem based on mobile plant animals and the non-plant animals that hunt them. Maybe that's a task for another day. And that's basically it. I didn't really come up with an explanation for this creature's horse-like tail, nor any real function for its crab shell. Maybe this creature has a predator that it needs to protect its neck area from. But then why only a shell on that part of the body? I don't know. Nor do I have a real explanation for why this creature can't move its neck. Seems like a useful thing to be able to do. Does not being able to move its neck give it some kind of advantage, or just an evolutionary quirk? I don't know. And that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.